Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to recap Shawn and Sara in the last episode of Life After Lockup. But before I get to that, I realized that Sara had commented under a few of my other videos, and I just wanted to point those comments out. People were asking whose car did Sara get out of when she got out of prison? Wasn't she supposed to get out of a prison van or bus or something instead of a regular car? And Sara replied, it was production vehicle. They're not allowed to film on prison property. Someone had to sign me out. I couldn't just walk out, and they wouldn't let Shawn do it because they wouldn't have been able to see us meeting for the first time. So I understand most people probably haven't been to prison and know they have access to things. They have sales where you can buy flat irons, blow dryers, makeup. There are also several catalogs your friends and family can order from to buy clothes, shoes, and makeup as well. After doing so much time, you accumulate things. Several years ago, your family could even send home boxes to you. The point is, all these things are available in prison. I could have came out in sweats with my stuff in a trash bag, but I didn't have to. Someone made that bag for me, hence to why it broke. You learn to get creative with what you have. When getting released from prison, you have to be signed out by someone. They don't let you just walk out. We're not allowed to film on the prison property, so the producer had to sign me out and bring me to Shawn in the parking lot across from the prison. If Shawn had picked me up, they wouldn't be able to film us meeting for the first time, so that's why I got dropped off in a vehicle, which was the producer, because of course they wanted their first reaction meeting each other. As for the phone call, my mom didn't want any part of the show at that time, so she didn't want to be on speakerphone. They asked me to, but I wasn't going to disrespect her against her wishes. I'm sure it looks to be suspicious, but there is more to it than you guys see. There has to be someone that has been to prison or knows someone who has that can second that these things are indeed available in prison. And we all remember in the last episode, right after Shawn gave Sara her phone, she was texting with someone nonstop, and it even made Shawn question Sara, who are you texting? And she said she was texting her best friend Stacy. Stacy was trying to make sure Sara was okay, trying to make sure that Shawn didn't kidnap her. Well, someone else had commented on a video about Sara questioning why she got out of a car, not a prison van. And Stacy said, I'm Sara's best friend, and the reason they did that is because they wouldn't let cameras on the prison property, so Shawn and the cameras had to wait across the street. And Stacy left a comment under another video about Sara, and she said that she was originally supposed to be the one picking up Sara from prison, but the show made Shawn pick Sara up from prison so they could get their reaction to the first time of them meeting each other. And Stacy said she was really salty because she thought she was supposed to be the one picking up Sara, and then that's another reason why they were texting back and forth nonstop when Sara got out of prison. But I just wanted to touch base on those receipts, but let's go ahead and get into recapping Shawn and Sara. So Shawn takes Sara to this pizza place, and she was super overwhelmed because she's been in prison for the past 6 years. She was freaking out. And Sara says that Shawn's done a wonderful job of making her feel comfortable, but she has a big secret she is yet to tell him. And I was kind of half right. I predicted last week that she was going to tell him that she had kids. I guess she only has one kid. She has a 6-year-old daughter that she gave birth to, and she was pretty much a newborn when Sara went to prison. And she told Shawn that she hasn't seen her daughter since she was a baby when she went to prison, and that her mom has had her the whole time. Her mom was nice enough to step up and be the mother to her while she was in prison. And Shawn was like, why didn't you tell me this before? And Shawn told producers, I don't get why she's just now telling me. I've asked her a million times, and she assured me she had no kids. And Shawn just seemed disappointed. But Shawn, that was your moment. You should have told her right then and there. That was your opportunity to say, hey, I haven't been honest with you. I got 6 kids myself. But Shawn's trying to use the excuse, well, I'm not sure how many kids I told her I have. I'm pretty sure I lied, but I can't remember the exact number, so I don't really know how to come about it to her and be like, hey, how many kids did I tell you I have? And Sara said the hardest part about being in prison was being away from her little girl. And she said she didn't want her little girl to grow up in prison with her. and Sarah's daughter's dad isn't in her life. And Shawn had the audacity to say, well, she's lying to me about that. What else is she lying to me about? But Shawn, you still ain't been honest with the girl. At least she's came clean to you about that, and you had your opportunity, and you still haven't came clean to her. And I'm sure you told her a lot more lies compared to that. She lied about one kid. You probably lied about 4 or 5 kids. And Sara said she was just concerned bringing her daughter into all this, so she wanted to let Shawn know. And she said she didn't even know if she was going to have Shawn pick her up until today, the day of he actually picked her up from prison. Because Sara wasn't taking him that serious because they were talking every day, getting to know each other. Then he ghosted her for a whole year, then popped back up in the picture, and she says she still doesn't know what happened in that year. And I'm sure she's going to probably find out here soon. And Sara told Shawn, like, I know I told you while I was in prison, I wanted you to meet my mom. And I still want you to meet my mom. But my mom has my daughter. And meeting my mom is one thing, but meeting my daughter is a totally different thing. And she didn't feel comfortable with Shawn meeting her mom the first day out of prison, the first day that they just met. And she says it's going to be a good while before she's comfortable enough to have Shawn meet her daughter. And I respect that because I've been saying that about these couples on this show for the longest. A lot of them want to rush and have everyone meet their family, and then the next week they're not together. So not every single person you date needs to meet your mom and dad. That should be somebody that you know is going to be around in the long term, because you don't want your daughter and mom getting attached to someone and then get hurt in the process if they don't work out. And Sara said that Shawn's the type of person that just wants to dive in head first, and she's more old-fashioned and she wants to take things slow. So she told Shawn she's ready to go to her mom's house. She wants to see her daughter, and Shawn was like, okay, we can go slip in a cornfield somewhere or do it in the car, but I'm trying to get it in before we do all that. So Shawn wants to get it in because he thinks that's going to solidify the relationship and show him that the relationship is real. And then he says he feels like he'll be able to slide it in and tell her that, hey, I dated Destiny, we're engaged. Hey, I'm actually 10 years older than I told you. And hey, I actually have 6 kids. And okay, like, remember when Destiny did it with Shawn and she's like, that's the best sex I've ever had in my life, it was so good. Maybe that's what Shawn's trying to do. Maybe he knows that he's trying to get her mesmerized on the D so he'll feel better, like she's not going to go run away. So Shawn and Sara leave this pizza shop and they get in the car and she spills the beans to Shawn like, hey, I know I got you all excited thinking we're going to go to a cornfield or do it in the car, but I'm really not feeling that. I'm really just ready to see my family. And then she told producers, like, hey, I've never had a sex with a man sober before. And I get that because I was on drugs for 10 years. And when I got sober, it took me a minute before I finally felt comfortable. And it was weird at first. And plus, you don't want your first time having sex with a man sober and your first time having sex in 6 years being in a cornfield or in the backseat of a car. I would want it to be special. So then Sara reveals to Shawn that not only does she want to go home and not get freaky in a cornfield, but she also wants Shawn to drop her off in a parking lot and just leave her because she doesn't want Shawn to know where her mom lives yet. Shawn says Sara's giving him mixed messages. 1 second she wants to have sex in cornfields. The next, she just wants Shawn to drop her off and leave her. And Shawn questions if Sara just used him for a phone and fruit. He said, I think she just got what she wanted out of me. She got the phone and the fruit. And I was like, this man did not just say, I think this girl may have used me for some fruit. Shawn says he is starting to notice red flags, though, when it comes to Sara. And it really got him thinking. Shawn was not happy at all. And Sara says as the day went on, it dawned on her that her mom would be really upset if she just gave a random stranger her address. So then suddenly, Sara sees a parking lot and tells Shawn to pull into it and drop her off. And Shawn insisted, like, I'm not just gonna leave you. And Sarah's like, that's what I want you to do. Sara says she's been texting with her mom this whole time, and this is where she told her mom to meet her, and she just wants Shawn to drop her off and not follow her. And Shawn wanted to wait with Sara until her mom got there, but Sara said, no, I don't want you to, because I don't want you to think it's okay for you to just walk up and talk to her, because it's not. So before Shawn even got a chance to leave, her ride suddenly pulled up, and they pulled up with a quickness and pulled to the exit of the parking lot so Shawn couldn't even see who it was, which made Shawn even more suspicious. So Shawn was like, I don't know who that was. They pulled in so fast I couldn't see them. It could have been a guy for all I know. So she didn't even kiss Shawn or anything or say bye to him really. She just got out real fast, jumped in the car. Then Shawn pulls behind the car that Sara got picked up in, and Sara jumped out of the car and said, what are you doing? There's another way out of the parking lot. You better not follow me. And Shawn said he wasn't, and then Sara jumped back in the car. She told Shawn she loved him before she left, but then when she was in the car driving off, she called Shawn a psycho. So Shawn said he doesn't know where him and Sara stand or if he'll ever even see her again. And Shawn says he feels like he almost got conned again. So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.